spongiform encephalopathy affects these animals and commonly makes them go mad?
Raccoon? Or no, rabies. It's rabies.
Raccoon.
Answer raccoon.
Cows. Mad cow disease.
Mad cow disease.
I knew. Brian, I trusted you.
Thank you for showing up.
Don't jump out a window.
Oh, nice. Get in here, Ogren.
Oh.
Oh
Wow.
boy.
Get in here. Oh, where's the rest of your team?
This is our team.
This is
All
Gary
right.
showed up. Mr. Gary's kind of scared.
Well, good luck.
Okay, this
Scary.
side.
Okay.
So no discussion, you just yell out the
We have
answer.
okay.
Nope, no buzzers. 2, Congressman Charles Wilson pushed to covertly supply this country with Stinger missiles and Operation Cyclone. An ill-fated 1979 Soviet invasion of this country was countered by,
Here.
just yell,
Oh, Afghanistan.
correct.
Here.
Howard, your 3 follow-up. You discuss, captain gives me the answer, he must say answer.
Who's the captain?
Back.
May, you weren't here. It would have been you, just so we're all
I was
aware.
gonna say, I felt like I said.
My kind of go-to is theme music.
Jimmy Carter filed an official report that he observed one of these things in 1969. When Carter ran for president, he promised to release all possible information about these things, but after he was elected, he cited national defense and he couldn't claim so after all. For 10 points each, name these mysterious entities. The number of sightings of these things has dropped considerably.
UFOs.
Yeah, UFOs. And answer is UFO.
Yes, you have to say answer. This independent senator from Vermont pledged to declassify UFO information if he won the 2020
Answer.
presidential election.
Bernie Sanders.
Tell your captain tells
Bernie
me.
Sanders.
Answer Bernie Sanders.
Yes, the most famous UFO incident took place near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. Conspiracy theorists believe that a UFO crashed and its contents were taken to this Air Force facility in Nevada.
Answer Area 51.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Good job, team.
Not me.
Question
Now,
3.
can I ask a quick question? I knew UFO very early on. Should I have?
You don't get more points for that.
Not for those.
There's no.
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's what I.
It's
So it pays to
Only
listen.
for the first one.
Pays to listen. Got it. Thank you.
Oh, we got another ringer here.
All right, question number 3 this side.
We're up, Evan, just so you know.
One of these mythological figures was rescued from a ring of fire by Siegfried, who cut off her armor. Brunhilde was one of these daughters of Odin, who were often described as shield maidens. For 10 points, name these divine women who, in Germanic mythology, carried the souls of the dead warriors to the afterlife.
Valkyries, right?
What?
You have to say it.
Valkyries.
Oh, go.
Time?
Valkyries?
You have to say defer.
Oh.
But I thought it was toss-up.
it was a
so
toss-up.
Oh, it's a toss-up, sorry. Evan, you are correct. Yep. Okay, this side, your bonuses. Thousands of these items have been painted with names and pictures for storage in a chapel and hall sacked. For 10 points each, name these items. Tens of thousands of these items are used decoratively in the Sedlec ossuary, including a massive chandelier that includes at least one of these, of the 206 different types of them.
Answer bones.
Correct. The Sedlec ossuary is a tourist attraction in this Eastern European country, whose other popular sites include Wenceslaus Square and Vischenrad Castle on the Vltava River, and Frank Gehry's Dancing House.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Answer Czech Republic.
Bones are used as decorations elsewhere in Europe. Walls of femurs and skulls line the catacombs under this French capital city.
Answer Paris.
Correct. This side. The first of these materials used by humans was meteorite iron, predating the invention of smelting. These materials commonly exhibit better strength than their components. Adding chromium
Sorry.
Don't talk.
Is that one that I can say it earlier to get more
Yes,
points?
I-
Gar McDougal!
Come on, people!
I
Really
wasn't
gotta
trying
let
to
me
break
know
the
that
rules.
early on.
I didn't know.
I was looking at him like, can I go now?
Now you
I
talk.
get it.
Now we
understand.
talk.
I understand.
give him anything.
During a post-game interview, professional esports gamer Blitzchung put on a gas mask and proclaimed, "Liberate Hong Kong, the revolution of our times," before the video stream was cut. Answer the following about the ensuing controversy for 10 points each. Blitzchung had finished a Grandmaster match in this online trading game, card game, with characters from the World of Warcraft universe.
What is the question? Pokemon.
No, it's the world.
What's the game?
What's the game?
Time?
I don't know what the rules are. But it's there.
Dungeons and Dragons.
What is Catan?
You guys know?
Brian does.
What is it?
It's Hearthstone.
It is Hearthstone. Very good, Brian.
Yeah, I didn't know that one at all.
Hearthstone and World of Warcraft were created by this video game developer. This company was sharply criticized for rescinding Blitzchung's prize winnings, banning him from its tournaments, and firing the two commentators who happened to be broadcasting the match.
Who makes World of Warcraft? I don't even know if it's EA Sports.
PlayStation 2.
EA Sports.
Time? Brian, do you know?
Blizzard.
Blizzard is correct.
I thought I played this. I
The
really
Game Master match took place on this island, over which China claims control. During a story on the Hong Kong protests later in the week, ESPN controversially broadcast a map of China that included this island.
Taiwan?
Taiwan.
Taiwan?
Hong Kong.
Answer is Taiwan.
You are correct.
Got one.
Is that the sports question?
No.
Jeez.
When you started at the very beginning of that
No, that was
question, I was like, I got this. 'Cause
No.
it was
So
like
is that-
real sports.
That's what
Not
I thought, yeah.
esports.
All right. 5. Edward Elgar's last notable work is a concerto for this instrument, which was played by Jacqueline Dupre. Bach composed 6 solo suites for this instrument, the first of which is a signature piece for Yo-Yo Ma.
Cello. In for cello.
Yes, you missed power by 1 word.
Yeah.
Well done.
As soon as I
Yo,
said
he had it at Yo-Yo Ma.
Yeah, that's when I heard Yo-Yo Ma, I'm like, I know what it is.
Mr. Green just walked
Did you see that? Did you see that little move?
Yeah, you see, he's
They
afraid.
walked by,
He's afraid
made
he saw the varsity
zero eye
squad.
contact with anyone in the room, but did this on the way by. Threw a nice little handout.
He saw the polos.
Science.
Look at him.
Science are really good.
The legendary experiment in which Archimedes found that metals of different densities would displace different volumes of water relies on this physical force. For 10 points each, name this force that pushes up on an object submerged in a liquid. This force is equal to the weight of liquid displaced by the object.
Buoyancy. Answer buoyancy.
The buoyancy force is strong enough that if an object is less dense than water, like a cork, it will do this when placed in water.
Float. Answer float.
That's not fair.
Although a paper clip is denser than water, it can appear to float because of this behavior, the strong tendency of water molecules to stick together. This phenomenon forms a skin that insects can walk on.
Answer surface tension.
Correct.
I'll try again. Again.
Score check.
It's 100 to 65.
High school questions.
Oh, now it's gonna be hard.
Was that middle school?
That
Those
was
were
middle
middle
school.
school questions.
Why are we changing?
I was feeling pretty good about middle
Why
school.
do we change
for a
things?
while.
I feel like this is appropriate.
Elementary
You know,
school question.
Since we haven't seen high school. All right, here we go.
All right, we ready?
Now, this is one, hold on. We can at any point in time come in with an answer here.
No
Any
talk,
member.
no
Just yell it out.
discussion, just
Any
yell
member.
out,
Yell
yes.
it out.
At any
Thank
time.
you. So I can know.
If you get it wrong, it's -5.
Yeah.
And
We're
it
gonna
goes
talk
to
about
the other team.
Oh, to the,
Well, if you get it fast and correct, you get 15.
Powers.
Power. This country disputes the Scarborough Shoal with China and Taiwan as part of a territory claim along the 9-dash line. This country's Cebuano language is commonly spoken in Palawan province and on the island of Mindanao, although this island's official language is Tagalog. This country's most is near its capital on the island of Luzon? For 10 points, name the Southeast Asian archipelago governed by Manila.
Oh, Philippines.
Correct.
Good thing, I don't say Laos.
That's why I waited. I had
Yeah.
Philippines a long time ago.
It's okay, you could power. This character's feud with Ernie the Giant Chicken began after the chicken gave him an expired coupon. For 10 points, identify this former employee of a happy-go-lucky toy company who now works at the Pawtucket Patriot Brewery.
I have no idea.
Dana Mulligan? I have no idea.
SpongeBob.
Peter Griffin.
Yes. Peter
Family
Griffin is
Guy.
the main character. Correct.
Yeah! That's how you do things, let's go!
This character from American Dad saved Stan Smith's life in Area 51 after crash landing his spaceship.
Roswell, New Mexico.
In the episode A.T. the Abusive Terrestrial, this character is befriended by the mean-spirited Henry.
If we phone a friend, Mr. Feldman.
Time? Roger
Alien.
Smith.
Roger Smith. Okay.
So Smith would work this time.
Smith, John Smith.
Yeah.
Okay, question 2.
For who?
Them. The Society for Education of Noble Maidens prompted this ruler to create the Smolny Institute, whose facility later housed the Bolshevik headquarters during the October Revolution. This ruler founded the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. This wife of Peter III promoted the Enlightenment.
Catherine the Great.
Time simultaneously, very good.
Mm.
10. Name some things relating to the Parthenon for 10 points each. Phidias designed a gold and ivory statue of this goddess to reside in the Parthenon, but now is lost. However, it is known from Roman copies that the Parthenon was built to accommodate her.
Athena?
Oh, that's what I was,
Yeah.
answer Athena.
Yes, the Parthenon is located on this hill in Athens.
Mount.
I don't know.
Answer
That's not
Olympus.
it.
The A word. It's on the, do you know? The Acropolis.
Acropolis.
This ruler of Athens commissioned the massive rebuilding of the Acropolis after the Persians had destroyed it.
Ruler of Athens.
He was Macedonia. Just try it.
Answer Alexander.
Pericles.
That was Olympic.
Now we go to question number
6. No. 7. No.
5, 6,
Five.
7, 8.
6.
8 because they're evens.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Score check?
120.85. We're doing respectable here.
You are. You're in it.
We're there, let's
You're in
go.
it to win it, maybe. A zeta pinch can be used in machines that break the Coulomb barrier to create this process through inertial confinement. Fleischmann and Pons falsely claim to have produced a Cole type of this process. This process occurs via the CNO cycle, or the proton chain in the nucleus of stars, where this process converts hydrogen into helium. For 10 points, name this energy generating process in which the nuclei of atoms are combined, contrasted with fission. No talk, no talk.
Can't talk to each other.
Atomic fusion.
Nuclear power.
Correct.
Yeah. Where'd that come from?
Somewhere.
You pulled it.
Well, what the last word you said was fission, or?
The opposite of fission
Yeah,
is fusion.
that's where I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I think that's the same word, and I got
This
worried.
disease was thought to have contributed to the Little Ice Age due to population loss. For 10 points each, name this disease that killed over a third of Europe's population. It was thought to have arrived on rats aboard ships traveling from China.
Yeah, it's either.
So Black Plague?
You have to say
The answer is Black Plague.
Correct. A plague struck this city during the Peloponnesian War in 430 BC. This city was susceptible to disease because the country folk had moved within the city walls for protection from attacking Spartans.
You can talk out
The
loud.
Spartans attack.
Athens, answer Athens?
Correct. This city was struck by the plague in 1665, a year before a fire broke out in this city. The plague escaped this city and spread to Eyam in Derbyshire as well.
City that burned down.
London or something.
I'm gonna go with answer Paris. Sorry.
London.
Okay.
Derby-
London's
Derbyshire.
Derbyshire is British.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, well,
Score check?
120, 115.
Oh!
Coming in hot.
Atomic fusion.
Six,
Love that.
seven. This is 9,
Oh, that
question
could-
9.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Question
I
9.
hope you're feeling the pressure.
bit.
National championship qualifiers.
You guys wanna
Say
go
it.
to put
You
music
see
on?
how they are trash talking?
No, we're just
You
making
know
sure
how to
everyone.
shovel it right back, boys. Mama taught you well.
I'm just trying to get you to step it up.
We're prepared.
In a work by this author, John Brooke accompanies his fiancee's mother as she goes to Washington to see Robert, an injured Union Army chaplain. A character created by this author runs Plumfield School in the sequel to a novel by this author in which Professor Bale and Lori Lawrence marry two of Marmie's 4 daughters. For 10 points, name this American author who wrote about Meg, Joe, Beth, and Amy March in Little Men and Little Women. Time?
Answer Jane Austen.
No? This time? Brian?
It's like Emma. Some.
Louisa? May? Alcott?
Yeah,
Alcott. You.
first time I ever heard that name in my life.
No. I need to remember that. It's,
I was this many
I
years
thought
old
she was
when,
a
uh,
transfer
when I
student
learned
from
that.
Torrington, Emma Louise
Math.
Alcott.
Who, to us?
Final question in the round.
us?
To you. Score check.
Pressure on.
great.
It's exciting, isn't
It
it?
was
You want
120,
yours? Grab yours,
115.
girls.
I'm okay.
What is it? Score check?
It's 120, 115.
Math.
All right, remember, we can't talk, guys.
No
No
talk.
talk.
Yell out. Heron's formula for the area of a triangle repeatedly uses half of this quantity as a term. The arc length of a closed curve is equivalent to this quantity. Archimedes calculated this quantity for 2 shapes in his approximation for pi. 4 times the side length gives this quantity for a square, and this quantity's analog for a circle is called the circumference. For 10 points, name this measure of a distance around a 2-dimensional shape.
Circumference. The distance around,
I have to take what you say as your answer.
distance around a 2-dimensional shape. My answer is circumference.
Answer perimeter.
Answer.
Oh my gosh, I'm kicking over. I'm just saying, circle.
You were feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
I'm all, I know.
You had no faith.
That was so scary. That was scary.
I got so caught up in the, when you said 1/2, and I was like, base. And then I got caught there, and I'm like, no, she's not going
That's
there.
the,
When she
that's
said
the
math.
outside.
That was it. You were.
Yeah, he was scared. Okay, so your bonus.
I did the perimeter of the circle.
Name some geeky television shows for 10 points each. This NBC series follows the exploit. This is the last question of the round, by the way. This NBC series follows of exploits of a series of students at the educational institution called Greendale, including former lawyer Jeff, football player Troy, and film student Abed.
Answer Community.
Correct. Remember, Captain gives the answer. This CBS sitcom is about the lives of 4 generous friends, Sheldon, Leonard,
Answer
Howard.
Big Bang Theory.
In this show, the title character has the intersect, a supercomputer database accidentally put in his head, and he must work with NSA and CIA to stop the nefarious ring organization.
Answer MacGyver.
No, anybody know? Chuck.
Oh,
Chuck.
that's what you know.
Final score.
Really anticlimactic.
You'll be proud of us when you hear the final score.
150, 115.
I think that's good.
Okay, sub in,
I think
sub
that's the
in.
most we ever got.
So I have Brian, this is BT.
You gotta sub in,
I have
right?
Kaylee,
Yeah.
I need your camera on. Emma,
Do I have to tag in off the top rope? or
Yes. See if we can tag in.
I have to go in 7
I have
minutes, so we'll
Audrey.
tag in the middle.
Yeah.
and
We can
Evelyn.
go for it.
Should we go? So we can
Yeah.
do, if you wanna do 5, we'll do 5 on 5, if you want. We
Yeah.
can
Let's
do
do
5 on 5.
Get in there, because I got 20 minutes left.
Okay?
I watched 7 minutes.
I have 3 girls at home.
Mark Denzel's phone.
So who's my captain? Oh my God, your face is on. Brian, we gotta hear the answers, okay?
The best part of that story is Mark Denzel's
How do we
phone.
do this?
You
Hey.
just pay attention to no one, and you just go and just.
But who's our captain?
We don't
I
have
guess I
bosses.
am.
I point.
Yeah.
So,
The only thing that really
The
matters.
teachers are odd, you are evens.
Do we have to snap?
Okay?
No.
The
The first one is a call out, anyone can answer it, but it has to be the right answer. If you
Yeah,
don't,
you
it's
can't
you
be a half
hour
stole it.
before
You can't talk to your team about
So
it?
it's like buzzing in if you call in.
Yes.
You can't talk to your team about it?
Not in the first one,
toss-up.
on the toss-up.
Are those kids playing at home?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is how we do
Correct,
it.
2021, Mr. Gary.
Yeah.
Kids are
So
playing
I
at
have
home.
3
breezy.
girls and 2 against 5, okay? So Brian is opening up his account, so that, you wanna take mine? It's more important that you hear, you wanna be closer to here, I don't mind, okay? So I have captain, and who's the
If
captain?
it's hard.
Who's the captain?
I thought he was gonna get that
But we
math
can't talk
question.
about it.
No, on
Not
the
the
first
first
one.
question.
No.
Okay, who's keeping
Then we
score?
can talk.
On the
I got it.
follow-up. You're the captain.
Yeah. I'll be
Okay,
the captain.
goes to this side, you cannot talk, you yell out, no
Where- So
discussion.
it's those,
Who's 3? There's 4 of them.
She looks just like.
It's 3 girls and 2 in the room is 5 against 5. Brian is captain.
Are these guys playing?
No, we're
No.
out. We're out.
These 2 and them.
Okay, are we ready? No talk.
Yeah, we can't talk to each other.
Okay, this
whose turn?
side.
Our turn?
Your turn.
If you know the
You are
answer,
now
say
odds,
that.
they're
If
evens.
not, wait.
Thinkers in this field of study were discouraged from using infinitesimals, quantities too small to be measured, until Gottfried Leibniz and Isaac Newton independently developed it in the 17th century. Integrals and derivatives are taught in, for 10 points,
Calculus.
correct.
There, math came back finally.
Remember, we start
Now
off
we-
with
now
middle
we
school
can talk.
questions.
Now we can speak, and then I will give our
You're the
answer.
man, yeah.
Was that question, sorry, was that question directed at
Yes.
us, or could it, okay.
Just our side.
Colin.
If we got it wrong,
Colin.
then they
Colin.
could steal.
Colin.
One, though this author's early paintings often feature New York skyscrapers, she spent much of her career at the Ghost Ranch Studio in New Mexico
Oh.
for 10 points each. Name this American,
George O'Keefe.
Answer, Georgia O'Keeffe.
over 200 of O'Keeffe's paintings depict enlarged sections of these colorful plant parts, including red canna.
Answer, cacti.
No.
Shit.
No, flowers.
Oh!
The
Go back, edit that, please.
Oh my God,
Oh.
don't put that anywhere! Flowers. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh,
Congratulations.
That's gonna blow it.
That's
why she's
Two nights in a row, she's on the
Photographer who
2 nights in
founded
a
the
row.
art gallery
Ansel Adams.
91.
Answer, Ansel Adams.
No, Alfred Stiglitz.
That's my English teacher.
Now listen, the question
Teacher
starts
of the
in
year.
talking.
That's a new shirt. She's my English teacher.
Okay, question 2 goes to the
What
students.
was the answer though? Was it cacti?
Flowers.
Flowers.
Just flowers?
Flowers.
This is our middle school questions, so they're easier.
Whatever.
Wow.
And we don't say
You guys
anything.
here?
Not on a toss-up.
No, they
This
can't.
side, no
They can't hear
discussion.
you. They can't hear you. I'll open up.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Did you hear Mrs. Geary before?
This philosophy, this is you guys,
Okay.
Brian.
This philosophy, which teaches that true happiness comes from virtue, was promoted in the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. Zeno of Citium founded this school of philosophy, whose core idea is that people should not be swayed by desire or fear. For 10 points, name this ancient philosophy, whose name is today associated with being calm and unemotional?
You guys have any idea?
Time?
Buddhism.
Nope.
You can't talk.
No talk.
Zen?
I have to take the first word. Zen is incorrect. It is stoicism. Being stoic. May I have some M&Ms, please?
Mr. Gary.
Mr. Gary has taken nothing.
Wow.
Wow.
cup?
The
Yes,
Gearys
please.
came in
I
and
thought
turned
the
this place
first answer
upside down.
I thought the first answer she was taking was, can we talk?
Okay, goes to teachers. This is number 3. Yes, Brian?
We can't
yeah,
talk.
it's
Is this
in
No
quiet
talk,
now?
no talk.
No talk, if you know the answer, say it.
I'm gonna knock this over, so you gotta move.
And then she'll give us a countdown after she's done talking, and then you gotta say something.
One of these literary works describes the publication of the author's novel, The Tale of Genji, and criticizes a court rival for her ineffective poetry. Lists of depressing and hateful things fill out one of these books, and another contains first-hand accounts of historical events, like the birth of Emperor Go-Ichijo. Lady Murowski and Shay Shonigan wrote for 10 points what kinds of books that keep a record of daily life?
Like diary.
I have to take the first word. Diary is correct.
Like
No, Nancy, what if I said
Would
journal?
journal have been
Yeah.
accepted?
Journal and
Okay,
memoir
that's
will
what I was
also
amazed
accept.
That's
it.
why you wait till the end.
Yes.
Because I was like, where is this going?
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you, do you get more points?
Power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Faster you answer,
Power.
faster, the more points.
I'll come down.
Operation London Bridge is a traditional code name for plans to be carried out after this monarch's death. Some of those plans, guys, have been in place for decades due to this ruler's long reign. For 10 points each, name this British queen who
Answer, Queen Elizabeth.
prompt.
Queen Elizabeth,
Second.
Second, Queen
Correct.
Elizabeth II.
Mr. Gary coming in for the save.
Prompt.
My wife watched a lot of The Crown.
2012, Elizabeth enjoyed a diamond type of this celebration.
It's Jubilee.
Answer, Jubilee.
Elizabeth's reign has not been perpetually happy. She described 1992 as her annus horribilis. That year, Windsor Castle caught fire and 3 of Elizabeth's children got divorced or separated, including Prince Charles and this wife.
Answer,
Thank you.
Lady Diana.
Correct. Thank you. Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you.
What did you
See
need
you
to
guys.
talk to?
Bye, guys.
Where do you go now?
Come on, man.
You need to talk to Tom.
Oh, track, okay.
Tomorrow.
Zach, don't tell anyone what you heard.
No,
Oh,
I'll
what
call you
ever
tonight
happened?
because I
For
want to
first time
talk
ever.
tomorrow.
I think we might put that on the
I'm
AP.
putting that on the CEA website, that's all I
Put that on the
know.
AP
We'll set
lecture
something
this
up.
year.
CEA website.
You just be like the stars and then Zach.
Okay, question 4 goes to the students, yes?
Yes.
One more question.
Brian, are you there?
I'm right here.
Okay. This man lamented, "It is well that war is so terrible, or we should grow too fond of it," during his victory over Ambrose Burnside at the Battle of Fredericksburg. This man, who led the militia that ended John Brown's raid, was victorious at the Second Battle of Bull Run. For 10 points, name this general who on April 9th, 1865, surrendered his Confederate army at Appomattox to Ulysses S. Grant.
Lee, right?
Correct.
No, I can't talk to each other.
First word was it's, I believe.
They keep pulling down those statues, the kids don't know history anymore.
No talking, Mr. Gary. This author's 9 stories, For As Many with Love and Squalor, and Uncle Wiggily in Connecticut are collected in his 9 stories for 10 points each. Name this American author who wrote about Seymour Glass and his family in the short story A Perfect Day for Banana Fish and the novel Franny and Zoe. This man wrote about the family of Phoebe and Holden in another novel. Time?
Salinger.
J.D. Salinger. Phoebe and Holden appear in this novel by J.D. Salinger, in which Holden leaves Pensy Prep School and takes Phoebe to ride the carousel in Central Park. Phoebe and Holden are members of this family who appear in several of Salinger's short stories as well as in The Catcher in the Rye.
Answer Caulfield.
Correct.
Okay, toss up?
Don't talk.
You said toss up?
Toss up to us. Right answer only.
Okay, this is question 5, goes to the teachers. This architect created 2 studios named Taliesin and Robbie House exemplifies the Prairie School of Architecture founded by this man. This architect created the New York Guggenheim Museum and used cantilevers to support the concrete terraces in a house in Pennsylvania over a waterfall. For 10 points, name this American architect of falling water. Frank Lloyd Wright? Frank Lloyd Wright? Correct!
Oh.
You go, Mrs.
Way to go.
Perry.
I've been to Taliesin and I couldn't think of it for the life of me.
Oh, don't admit to this, Mr. Ogren, that's not
Everything
good.
about it.
Now you may talk.
Okay,
Remember to
I
say
was gonna say
answer.
I pay whatever the other one.
what category we got?
I'm turning the page, hold on.
You pick a nice one, huh?
The history of America.
I see turned like 8 pages. To
Oh, come on.
I see what's going on over there.
Math. A circle has only one center. Geometry students wish triangles were that simple. Answer some questions about the trickiness of triangles for 10 points each. The orthocenter is named for being the meeting point of the 3 altitudes of the triangle, and the altitudes are orthogonal on the sides of the triangle. Because the altitudes and sides are orthogonal, they meet at this type of angle.
90 degrees, right angle. Answer, 90
Answer.
degrees or right angle.
Wow.
The centroid is the intersection of these 3 line segments, which extend from the vortex to the midpoint of the opposite side. In statistics, this term indicates a value that separates the top half and bottom half of a set of numbers and is often compared with a set's mean.
I think it's median.
Answer, median.
Correct. The centroid can also be described as the result of this operation on the coordinates of the shape. In statistics, this value can be found for a set by adding all the values in a set and dividing by the number of values there.
Average. Answer, average.
Yep. Or mean.
Or mean, right?
Or mean again.
Score?
This one's
Or 10.
130. Teachers. 130.
100, 230.
Say it loud.
100 to
Say it louder, say it louder,
Say it
too.
louder.
Everyone, all guidelines
I have to
here.
excuse myself. Good luck,
Thank you, Mr.
everybody.
Ogren.
I got 9
Okay,
minutes.
I promise I won't say any more bad words.
Yeah, no, I'm going to the videotape. And
See
We're
how
gonna go to
many,
video.
see how many
We're gonna
phone, see how many
I
phone
gotta
calls
go
you have
call Mr.
downstairs.
Yaman and-
Yeah.
Mr. Yaman is
Right,
watching.
multiple voicemails on
Is
all
he
of
on
them.
there? Is he there?
Is he there now?
Apparently he's a listener in the morning, so.
So a reminder, these are now high school questions.
Oh, time for stuff.
Leave it out.
Oh, sorry.
He's like, I'll hang up and listen.
6.
Yes.
Students, in 1928, this man founded a namesake rubber plantation in the Amazon rainforest that was abandoned within 6 years. This man published anti-Semitic articles.
Answer Ford.
Power.
Wait, what? Who is it?
Ford.
Yeah, Ford.
You got it on that last word.
Ooh.
Nice, well done.
Wow, okay.
Evan, please, may I have my water? It's on the table
I did
there.
not know Henry Ford
Thank you, hon.
planted. Oh, hold on.
Perfect. You can sit down if you want. Okay. Oh boy. Name these movies that Christian Bale has starred in for 10 points each.
My doppelganger.
Christian Bale starred as Bruce Wayne, also called the Caped Crusader, who defends the streets of Gotham City against the Scarecrow in this movie that was followed by The Dark Knight.
some type of Batman.
Just say Batman.
Batman Returns or something.
Yeah,
John?
Answer Batman.
Prompt.
Okay.
Batman Returns.
Answer Batman Returns.
Batman Begins.
It's the new series, Christian Bale.
In this 2009 movie, Bale plays FBI agent Melvin Purvis, trying to track down Johnny Depp's character John Dillinger in 1930s Chicago.
Something about alcohol.
Time?
Answer alcohol.
Public Enemies.
Public Enemies. Bale stars
I've heard the
as
book,
Jack
too.
Cowboy Kelly in this 1992 live-action Disney musical film that portrays the New York City paper boy strike in 1899.
Answer Newsies.
Correct.
Newsies.
What is it?
Newsies?
Yeah.
Kaylee Cummings was like, I got this. I got this. This side.
Toss up.
It's us, Mark.
Yep, no talking.
Only right answers.
This deity tricked Hindla by disguising her protege, Ator, as the Boer's Hildis Vini. This deity received half of the warriors killed in the battle in her mead hall, Folk Wagner. This goddess owned a torque called Brizen Gammon and a chariot pulled by cats. When Thrym demanded this goddess in exchange for Mjolnir, Loki borrowed her cloak of feathers and dressed Thor up as this beautiful goddess. For 10
Freya?
points.
Freya?
Correct.
Yes.
I'm starting to get into
Once you said.
Avengers and Endgame. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going through.
Yeah,
Who's in Ragnarok?
Good job with those Norse names there.
Oh my God.
Good grief.
Religions.
Oh,
The founder of this religion allegedly fell asleep with his feet pointing toward the Kaaba, which angered some watchmen. For 10 points each, name this Indian religion, founded by Guru Nanak, whose tenets include the 5 Ks. Members of this religion are prohibited from cutting their hair, and men in this religion wear turbans.
Kabbalism?
Buddhism?
I was gonna say Hare Krishna.
Oh, maybe. Hare
You saying try that?
Time?
Answer Harry
Krishna?
Krishna?
You guys know?
Is he Buddhist?
Sikhism, yeah.
Sikhism. Oh.
This Indian priest is said to have encountered a sick man, a dead man, and an ascetic before reaching enlightenment underneath the Bodhi tree.
Gandhi, guys?
Is this us?
Yes,
still?
Gandhi.
Yeah, sure.
Answer Gandhi.
Siddhartha.
The boy.
After having God's word revealed to him through the angel Gabriel, this religious founder became the last in a series of prophets. His conquest of the city of Mecca is called the
That's
Glorious Victory.
I think it's Muhammad.
Answer
Prophet Muhammad.
Muhammad.
Correct. Okay, goes to question 6, 7, 8.
Last question, right?
8.
Yeah.
This is that.
4 minutes.
It's not the last one.
Many chalcid wasps are hyperexamples of these organisms in the plant kingdom. These organisms possess a hostorium, as seen in European mistletoe. The trypanosomes that cause sleeping sicknesses are a single-cell type of these organisms, and common ecto ones that attach to the skin include lice and ticks. For 10 points, blood flukes and tapeworms are what type of organism that contains food, that obtains food from a host, harming it in the process?
Answer parasite.
Correct.
Good.
Name some religious symbols for 10 points each. This symbol of Judaism is composed of 2 equilateral triangles and is on the flag of Israel.
Star.
Star of David.
Answer star. Star of
Prompt.
David. Answer star of David.
The outer circle of this symbol of Asian philosophy represents the world, while the black and white center represents the interconnectedness of opposites.
Yin and yang.
Yeah. Taoism. Right?
No, they said symbol, right?
Time?
Answer yin and yang.
Correct. This Buddhist symbol is often depicted as a circle with 8 spokes, representing the eightfold path and the karmic cycle. It represents the Buddha's path to enlightenment.
Answer Nirvana. Sorry.
Wheel of Dharma.
I don't know.
What? Question?
Seriously?
Score check?
85, 120. Teachers.
120?
Yeah.
So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. In this novel,
It's us?
no talking,
Yes.
Pope Urban X's daughter cuts off her buttock to serve soldiers in a siege. Cacambo explores El Dorado with a man who says we must cultivate our garden at the end of this novel. After an attack on Castle, Thunder 10 Tronk, this novel's protagonist struggles to reunite with his lover. Kunigand and his teacher, Dr. Pangloss, who insists that all is best of all possible worlds. For 10 points, name the satirical French novel about a titled optimist written by Voltaire.
Oh, Candide.
Correct?
That's easy.
All
That was like
Coming.
gibberish.
I know
True.
the author. I had no idea what the
So
book's
adorable
about.
that,
Jesus.
you had to wait this long for our 2
I didn't.
readers.
For 10
Doesn't
points
sound very
each,
fun.
That
give these legal terms.
Ugh.
Before an indictment is issued, this type of panel will often be formed to decide if there is enough evidence.
Oh,
Answer grand jury?
If a witness cannot show up to court, they often fill out this type of statement under oath,
Affidavit, right?
where they tell the
Answer
judge
affidavit?
ordering a jury to stay away from their home in order to keep away from them and their influences.
Answer sequester?
Yep.
Boom. Dynamite.
10,
Boom, boom.
question 10,
Last one.
last one this round. Score check.
160, 85.
One of these musical works, originally titled Hand in Hand, was later nicknamed Emperor. Tchaikovsky's Pathetique Symphony includes a limping one of these works. Chopin was inspired by a dog chasing its own tail to write a short minuet work of this type. Tales from the Vienna Woods is a work in this genre by a king of these dances. Johann Strauss Jr., who also wrote about the beautiful blue Danube, is an example. For 10 points, name these Viennese ballroom dances and 3-4 time.
Answer Wolf.
I have to take her answer. She's correct.
I'm
Guys,
sorry.
pleasure and honor as always.
Nice work there.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We did what we came here to do.
Did you know? Tower, I'm sorry.
Which side? This side, right?
Yes.
This book's title character goes to a birthday party at Norman Fishbine's house. For 10 points, name this novel about a girl growing up, both Jewish and Christian, who ends up running out of a confessional after tearfully apologizing to the priest.
It's about a girl to girl.
Night of the Stars? Answer the Night of the Stars.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Oh my God.
Name the author of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, who also wrote Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing.
That's it.
Time?
Answer Judy Blume.
Correct.
Judy Blume.
This little rover, Peter Hatcher, from Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, later had his own books, including one that calls him Super.
Answer All My Fudge.
Correct. So I love those fudge
Who
books.
is the
Who
Judy
knew
Blume
that?
expert
Who
over
knew
there?
all
Is it
that?
Kaylee?
Kaylee.
Nice, Kaylee with the Judy Blume.
Final score?
160, 115 teachers.
Okay, last round. Last round. Evan, you are in. I have 3. You want to go up against how many? 3, 4, 5, 6?
What?
I can put players on your side.
No.
We can do whatever you want, whatever works, to get the most experience, I don't care.
Yeah, we can have some on us. so I just make it even if you want.
But it's still gonna count as a teacher victory. So kids are
Okay,
playing
so I
for.
have 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, it's a deciding game, it's 1-1. So, do you really want that? It would just be a tie.
Okay, let's put Evelyn on the side.
Alright, then, that happens.
That's 4.
You're not really getting anything.
Ha you have to sit with the teachers instead of your friends. Ha ha.
Cool.
Everyone's gonna laugh at you,
I
call you a
guarantee
nerd.
you-
Folks
not
at
gonna
home,
get
you were on the student side,
Teacher's
okay?
pet.
This is the deciding game, right?
So it's 1-1. Each team has 1 round.
Okay,
So this is the final
Oh, we're
round,
playing another
10
whole-
questions.
well, this is the whole round.
Oh,
Oh,
We
boy.
start off with middle school.
so we're here for another half hour.
I'm gonna get to know that.
You guys go first because you're odds.
Actually, yeah, can we hold on 1 second? I didn't realize this was a whole round.
You want to tap it?
I think it's some water.
What? Is that what
Anybody
that is?
catching the light bus?
Oh.
No.
No.
Oh my gosh,
Wait,
happy days.
what time is it?
Ryan McKenzie. I think brought one for you, one for
We
him.
have to
5
win,
after.
okay? We have to win.
What's that?
I don't mind.
My husband didn't bring me M&M's.
It's fine.
Oh.
Is that on record? She like 20 after.
Not with my potty mouth?
It happens to the best of us. And for this first question, I feel very cheated. My rep's at stake, you know.
Gotta be careful.
I still love you the question.
Zach
I'm
knows
gonna
it.
start.
Not the first time.
Starts with the students, odd. They're even. Question 1, middle school. This organ contains masses of lymphatic tissue known as Peyer's patches. This organ surface area is increased by finger-like villi that can be blunted by celiac disease. This organ, which receives chyme through the pyloric sphincter, consists of the ileum, jejunum, and duodenum. For 10 points, name this digestive organ that is found between the stomach and a related larger organ.
Intersmall intestine.
Yep.
Celiac.
Yeah.
This is really a much sold.
I didn't know that was an intestine disease.
The little villies that absorb the nutrients get killed if I eat gluten.
Science. The van der Waals equation is a generalized form of this law that accounts for compressibility and collisions. For 10 points each, name this equation, commonly written as PV equals nRT, that describes the behavior of certain gases.
Ideal gasoline.
Ideal gas law. Answer ideal gas law.
The N in the ideal gas law represents the amount of gas present, measured in this SI unit. Until November 2018, this unit was defined as the number of atoms in 12 grams of carbon-12.
Yeah, intermol.
The ideal gas constant, R, is equal to the Boltzmann constant multiplied by this number, equal to roughly 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd power.
Answer of the first number.
3 for 3. Well done. Very good, Evan.
You.
Oh, no. that's not
Teachers.
good.
You're the captain, Evelyn.
Oh, cool.
Who's captain?
You're the captain
I am.
now.
You're the
Wow.
captain.
You're the captain. You're the captain.
Literature.
All right, no talking this time.
No talking, you have to call out. In a story by this author, Johnny Dorset terrorizes Bill and Sam until they pay his father to take him back. This author of The Ransom of Red Chief wrote a short story in which Jim,
Bret Hart.
no,
Oh, it's not Bret Hart.
buys his wife combs and Della buys Jim a watch chain, only to discover that they have each sold their watch and hair. For 10 points, name this American writer of short stories with twist endings like that of The Gift of the Magi.
Don't get it.
Time?
Answer Edgar Allan Poe.
I don't know. It's O. Henry, right?
Oh, Henry.
Ah!
You
Oh,
spoke too
Mr.
soon.
Henry.
Blame our captain.
In 2018, this state's Democratic candidate for governor, Andrew Gillum, lost by fewer than 35,000 votes after a machine recount. The Supreme Court awarded this state's 25 electoral votes to George W. Bush in 2000.
Answer Florida.
Power.
Oh.
Your bonus. This Greek comic playwright was frequently criticized for writing plays that poked fun of the Athenian politician Cleon, the philosopher Socrates, and the Peloponnesian War. For 10 points each, name this playwright whose satirical and insulting comedic plays include The Wasps, The Clouds, and The Birds.
Yes. A little bit. Answer Homer.
Aristophanes.
Aristophanes, right?
In this play by Aristophanes, Dionysus travels to the underworld to bring Euripides, another Greek playwright, back to life. The title chorus of this play sing bree, kee, kee, cax, coax, coax, to mimic the title animals.
Birds. Answer the birds.
Frogs.
Ribbit, ribbit.
Yeah, okay.
Frogs. In the Frogs, Dionysus dresses up like this hero by wearing a lion's skin. This demigod gives Dionysus advice on how to get to the underworld, since he had made up the trip himself while capturing Cerberus during this man's 12 labors.
Answer Hercules.
Okay, teacher team. Question 4, yes? This game's 1972 World Championship was lost by Boris Spassky. In 1990,
Chess. It's chess.
correct. Power.
Power. Good
Power
job,
for the
Paul.
teachers.
I know my chess. I watched the Queen's game, but I know it's up.
See what your topic is.
Don't be like religion or anything.
Quantum physics. Just kidding.
Oh, history.
Rappers only kids know.
Barber founded this empire after a victory at the First Battle of Panipat. For 10 points each, name this Muslim empire centered at
Oh.
Agra that was expanded and
Ottoman. I think it's Ottoman, right?
that was strengthened by Akbar the Great in the 16th century.
Answer Ottoman.
Mughal. The Mughal Empire was located in this modern-day country. Akbar held court in this country's city of Agra, which is home to the Taj Mahal. Nice and loud, because they're loud, okay? Scholars often classify the Mughal, the Safavid, and Ottoman empires as a grouped name for this Chinese invention, since this combination of sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter was key to their
Oh.
expansions.
Gunpowder.
Answer gunpowder.
Correct.
I know that.
You guys are
bonus.
so smart.
Good job.
I have like gunpowder around
Is
the
this
house,
question
so.
10?
Oh, yeah.
Five.
5, yeah.
5. Okay, this is the last middle school question.
Who's this for? This is for the kids?
Yeah.
There are odds, yep. This force's namesake constant is approximately 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11th meters cubed over kilograms times
Gravity.
power.
What was the answer? What was it?
Gravity.
Gravity?
Well done, Evan.
That was impressive.
Wow.
It's almost like you defied that.
Future Basil.
What's this?
Defying gravity.
That song goes? I don't want any more.
Mythology.
Are
You
don't want any more?
Mythology.
That's pretty much
Oh,
all
I
I need.
woke up Emma. Great. Gods have a lot of pent-up anger. Enough to write a bonus about it. For 10 points each, answer some questions about ticked-off Greek figures. Hi.
This is
After One of these beings, Cronus, ate all of his children except Zeus. Zeus got pretty mad and started a war between these large beings and the Olympic gods.
Answer Titans.
This Titan also angered Zeus by giving fire to mortals. As punishment, Zeus chained this Titan to a mountain and had eagles eat at his immortal liver.
Answer Prometheus.
This woman who had an affair with Zeus was turned into a cow for protection. However, like many of Zeus's lovers, this woman faced the wrath of Hera, who sent her a gadfly to torment her. Time?
Answer Helen.
No, do you guys know?
Oh, the cow one.
Io.
Leto?
Io.
Who?
Io.
Io? Who was the swan? That was Leto?
Yeah.
Leto, yeah. So that finishes middle school questions. Now we go to high school.
It's hard.
Score check.
130
arts.
I'm sorry, say it again.
130 kids. 100 to 30.
100 to 30.
What? That they're beating us by that much?
Yeah, and there's got two powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go, gear up.
Okay, question 6. An author from this country wrote about Hannah caring for Count Almase in The English Patient. This is the home country of Michael Ondaatje, Nobel Prize winner Alice Munro, and the author of a novel in which Offred tries to escape from her oppressive life in the Republic of Gilead in The Handmaid's Tale. For 10 points, author Margaret Atwood is from what country?
England. No.
This side, no talking.
Answer
New Zealand.
Czechoslovakia.
No?
New Zealand?
North of the United States.
Canada.
Canada.
You
Canada.
have to work there sometimes.
Kind of like Britain.
I thought
Carry out like your imagination.
I thought Margaret Atwood was English.
How about you?
Canadian?
Like that, kind of like.
Oh.
The Canadians!
Okay, question 6, yes?
Yeah.
Alright, so who's this to? The kids then?
It's
Yeah.
7.
Oh, this is 7. Yeah, this is 7.
7, 5, 6, 7, yep, odds. In 2020, Peacock announced a spin-off of this TV series based on a 2019 YouTube fan trailer by Morgan Cooper. During this show's original run, Daphne Maxwell Reid replaced Janet Hubert Witten as Vivian alongside James Avery's character, Uncle Phil. Carlton Banks slowly befriends this show's title character, who moves into the title affluent neighborhood. The title character is West Philadelphia born and raised in, for 10 points, what classic 90s sitcom starring Will Smith?
Yeah. Yeah. Answer Prince of Bel-Air.
Prompt,
Answer the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
correct, you have to have every word.
I knew that one!
What's the spin-off?
It's on, I thought on HBO.
I don't know the spin-off.
There's a spin-off on HBO that had like, cause he passed away and they had like a whole little talk about it.
Really?
Oh, that's what they're referring to, like the reunion thing?
But-
Oh,
but
that,
I think- But I
yeah.
know off of the reunion, they were gonna do a spin-off, I think.
Oh my god.
West Philadelphia.
Whose side this side?
I could sing the whole song.
No.
Yeah.
Sports.
Ugh.
For 10 points each, name these teams that won a World Series in the 2000s.
Oh my god. They weren't
This
even
team-
born then.
Went 86 years without a title, won it all in 2004 and 2007.
It's not the Cubs, right?
They were like 2014 or something.
Yeah.
Time?
Let's just go with it. Answer the Chicago Cubs.
The Red
I thought it was
Sox.
the Cubs.
Red Sox.
I thought it was the Cubs too.
No, Cubs was like in 17 or 16.
got one up on its crosstown rivals by sweeping the World Series over the Houston Astros in 2005?
You know who that is?
The what?
No, it's like Dallas.
Oh, yeah, I know who it is, yeah.
The answer, Dallas.
The White Sox.
Crosstown from Houston,
But you can't, that's not, it's
the
a
Chicago White Sox.
Uh,
This team, backed by Rally Monkey, won it all over the San Francisco Giants in an all-California World Series in 2002.
any ideas?
I know the Dodgers and Angels are baseball in California.
Time?
Answer the Dodgers.
Angels.
The Angels, the other one.
It's always the other one.
It's always the other one.
Oh, you guys are good.
What is ours gonna be like? Quantum physics, math.
The next one is art, Mr. Gary.
Art,
Forget it.
and it's just us, right? It's a shout out.
Okay, shout out, this is the toss-up number 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
8, question 8. This artist created a serigraph called Silver Car Crash Double Disaster and promoted the Velvet Underground at events called Exploding Plastic Inevitable.
Oh, Andy Warhol.
Power.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
job, Mr.
You write down power next to it.
Gary, we got a new name.
And then
Mr.
draw
Power
a
Gary.
lightning bolt.
Draw a lightning bolt coming out of his name. There,
And then
yeah,
light
there
that
you
piece
go.
of paper on fire.
Don't do that.
You get the art question. Zephyr flies in from the west carrying his bride Chloris in this painting. For 10 points, name this Renaissance work in which the title goddess rides in from the sea on a large shell. An attendant nymph prepares to throw a pink robe over her.
The Birth of Venus. Is it the work? Is that what we're saying? The Birth of Venus.
Answer the birth of Venus. That's the name. We
This
just-
man was a follower of Savonarola and student of the Fra Filippo Lippi, and he painted the Adoration of the Magi, Mystic Nativity, and Primavera, in addition to the Birth of Venus.
Oh, Botticelli.
Answer Botticelli.
Botticelli lived and worked primarily in this city, under the patronage of Lorenzo di Medici.
Is it Venice? Rome? No, I don't think it's Rome. I think it's Venice or Florence.
Answer
Time?
Florence.
Good.
Good
Three
job.
teachers.
Good choice of
See,
all the
you did that.
fairies.
See? Good job.
Score check.
110.75 students.
We're getting there, we're getting there.
Question number 9.
Yep.
Close your minute.
During history, during the Battle of Baltimore, George Amistad requested one of these objects so large that the British would have no difficulty seeing it. The resilience of one of these objects inspired the poem Defense of Fort McHenry by Francis Scott Key, which became the basis of the national anthem. Betsy Ross legendarily
Flag.
designed, I'm sorry,
Flag.
correct.
Good power on. Of all the questions I took power on, it was this one.
For 10 points each, answer these questions about clouds. These clouds are characterized by thin, wisp-like strands. Found at altitudes above 20,000 feet, they are also known as mare's tail.
Cumulus. Cirrus. Answer Cirrus.
Answer Cirrus is correct.
Nice.
These types of clouds are also known as thunderheads, meaning column rain in Latin. They are low-lying clouds that involved in extreme weather phenomena, including thunderstorms.
Cumulus or cumulonimbus? Which one? Cumulus. Answer cumulus.
Cumulonimbus.
Sorry, that's the other one.
Clouds are formed in this step of the water cycle, in between evaporation and water storage. This term describes the change in state from a gas to a liquid.
Condensation. Right? Condensation. Answer condensation.
Correct. Question 10,
Yep.
final question of the day.
Who's this for?
Us.
Us.
Score check?
75 to 140 students.
Killing us this time.
Brian, if you would do attendance too, please. Don't forget the kids on the board, okay?
We need power.
No talking. A program to build these facilities, Almaz, produced the Soyuz ferry to transport humans to the Salyut series of these facilities. The Next Step program awards contracts to create modules for a modern one of these facilities. A Soviet facility of this type decommissioned...
Space station. Space station.
Correct.
Can we get the power there?
Did I say Soviet
No?
facility?
How do you get power?
So you just missed the power by 2 words. Sorry.
The Soviets.
All right, Mr. Gary, you get your sports.
All right. Is it gonna be real sports or gonna be like soccer or something?
Oh my
Now, what's a real sport, Mr. Gary? Remember, you're on camera.
You
I
know
want
who knows
to-
soccer?
That's actually true.
Mr. Collins is gonna come for you.
Basketball.
All right.
This NBA legend was the first player to record 200 steals and 100 blocks in the same season for 10 points each. Identify the superstar who played his college ball at North Carolina under Dean Smith.
Oh, it's
No,
not
I
Jordan.
use
Answer
it's like
Michael
the
Jordan.
attendance. Yeah. Oh, it just goes here.
Brian, that's 10 on the first one.
Okay.
Michael Jordan spent most of his NBA career with this team, playing alongside Scottie Pippen and Steve Kerr.
Answer the Bulls.
10. During these title runs in the 90s, the Bulls were led by this Buddhist coach.
Phil Jackson.
Answer Phil Jackson.
Correct.
I'm so glad you guys know basketball.
Great.
I know.
You don't do sports
in my house.
I didn't know he was a Buddhist. That's cool.
Final score?
Yes.
140, 150.
There's a Montana too.
Hey, it's not that.
140, 1.
This is like one of the best.
What was the score?
140 to 115?
Me too, there's not one Spanish question.
Job.
I looked and looked. I was going to tell you the Spanish question is coming up.
What are your names? You are
Brian.
Brian.
Evan?
Hi, Evan. I'm Mrs. Curious. Nice to meet you. And you guys?
I'm Molly.
Molly. What's your last name, Molly?
Sweet.
Are you both freshmen?
Yeah.
And you are